Yo, good day, and welcome to another episode of the RoadFS Detail Podcast. And as you can tell, we have a special guest. Santa is in the house,
Ho ho, gentlemen.
Gray.
That's right.
Damon Gray from Owner's Pride. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing fantastic. And you two?
Oh,
Doing great.
It's been good.
You guys look good.
I don't go that far.
Jody offsets it. He kind of just elevates you there, right?
Yeah, I know he does.
But
I have both my arms now again, so I'm not bionic. That's a good
You're
thing.
not bionic, but one is like a limb.
One is a little gimpy. I can.
Oh man, well, we're super excited. I've had a lot of conversations with Paolo
Yep.
about what's going on at Owner's Pride, and I'm like, we got to get Damon on. He goes, yes, you do. In fact, we're gonna have Paolo on a special edition December 30th to talk about some things that he's working on. But let's focus on you, man. What's new in the world of Owner's Pride?
Yeah, I mean, a lot. Of course, like with a lot of companies, right? You get to the end of the year and you're trying to wrap things up. For us, it's like we're not necessarily wrapping up. We're gearing up for 2026, especially going into MTE. We've also got a few new products that we're releasing before we get there. And so it's been a rush. But the other thing, and I'll say what's been really big is getting out there and talking with our installers and the detailers out there right now. I don't think it's any big secret in the industry that with the present economy, there's definitely proposed some challenges out there.
Oh, yeah.
And so the idea is, yeah, we can come out with new products, but how are we going to help elevate you guys so that you can go ahead and sell to your customers and get out there and make a bigger impact and be able to adapt through this? Because OP, we were born in chaos. I launched February 2020, 4 weeks before the entire world shut down, and
Yep.
manufacturing and production at that time was absolute chaos. Prices were absolute chaos. We saw raw materials go up by 300%.
Holy
You know,
crap.
Oh no, the whole raw situation was going nuts. Plastic bottles, everybody was making hand sanitizer and looking at different ways of how can we market into that area and into the antimicrobial area. So trying to get hold of bottles, triggers. I mean, we were just watching everything explode. Whether it be a containing bottle, a squeeze bottle, glass bottles, and then the triggers. We were lucky to have triggers that matched when we sent out those orders.
Well, it was interesting because we had there were so many conflicting things at that time. We had a client up in Alaska that they would ship hand sanitizer to Alaska, but they wouldn't ship cleaning products and detailing that happened to be isopropyl alcohol. And it was the craziest thing you'd ever heard of because that's what hand sanitizer is. So we got in the for 2 weeks. We were in the business of smuggling
The black market
smuggling of isopropyl alcohol to Alaska, and they'd ask me. I'd go down to the thing, and they'd say, "What's in there?" And I'd say, "Hand sanitizer." And they'd say, "Absolutely, we'll get it there." And I'm like,
Who would have thought you've been bootlegging hand sanitizer?
For a different conversation, I've got a long resume of bootlegging or smuggling things. So, but let's talk about OP, not my criminal record.
Yeah, but I mean, it kind of all relates into it for us in OP. One of the philosophies that I've always carried is a rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah.
So if we can help elevate our detailers in increasing sales, it does nothing but help us. And so that's what a lot of our focus has been here towards the end of 25. But going into 26, some of the things that we're really excited about is launching our PPF program.
Okay.
And we also have our industrial coating, our OPHD that's coming out, the heavy duty. We'll have two versions. We'll have one that's a hand applied, that'll be in a 2-ounce bottle. And then we'll also have a 2-part sprayable. And that one will be, it'll be 20 ounces with those two containers that you mix together. Again, that's definitely more so on the industrial side. And then we have a tire and trim restorer that's coming out. We're calling it TNT. And we're excited to get that out because the
Wow,
unusual thing,
I love that name.
the instantly absolutely as soon as you
TNT.
said that,
Right.
ACDC popped in my head.
Dynamite.
So
TNT.
let's talk about, because one of the things that OP I think has done an incredible job of is in the like you said, the short amount of time that you guys have been here and the adversity you guys had to deal with when you launched. You guys have done a phenomenal job of having brand recognition and getting people out there that are they're kind of brand ambassadors, but they're installers, right?
Yeah.
So you look at Ray Evans is who's on here, and Paolo Essentia, and I think that is one of the things. The guys in Florida, that is one of the things I think that's impressed me about OP is just the level of professional installers and training that you guys do. I know Paolo is constantly doing training. We've been to his facility a couple of times. We've been in Florida a couple of times with at RoadFS training. I have an OP on one of my cars. I have an OP coating on it, and the performance is great. It's one of those non-metallic flat paints, basically, even though it's not a flat. It's
right.
It has clear coat, but it's a waterborne paint with a clear coat over the top of it. But it's the performance is really nice. You can see every single speck of dust on that paint. There is nothing in there that grabs your eye. There's no metallics. There's no change of colors. So those kind of paints that are really popular right now, I think that the coatings, it's not about an aesthetic as much as it is an ease of care to me. Because in my personal life, it's like the cobbler's shoes, right? So my cars are always the worst looking cars in the parking lot. But that,
except for mine,
the coatings that is on there has really helped the maintenance more than anything on that car. It's my wife's car. She absolutely refuses to hand wash it. I know where it's going. It's going through Costco's Scratch and Shine. So that has been a really, really big help in maintaining that vehicle. So you guys hit the market. You have a slew of products. I have not had a chance to use all of them. I've seen all of them other than the new ones you're coming out with. So,
I like Raymond, ease of install as well as ease of maintenance and aftercare. And it seems like you guys have really narrowed in on that.
Well, I mean, okay, it's no big secret. I used to install, before I came out with our own brand. And I'll be honest, guys, the one step that I always hated was the final step, and that was putting the coating on itself. And because it's like at that point, you can't take a call. If somebody calls in your business, you don't have time to do it. You got to stay on it. Somebody walks in your shop, what are you going to do? You can't leave it. Because, I mean, if you came back and you had all the high spots and everything else, you're going back to square one. So the idea was to have an easier install. And the idea too was not just for an easier install, but the easier install was to make it more efficient. And also so our detailers could go ahead and conduct business at the same time. The other great thing is too, say you do get a high spot with our coatings, you see it 24 to 48 hours later, it's excess solvent. High pile towel, eco wash, rinseless, you're going to be okay. You don't have to have a buffer and go back and polish it down. And that's what's made our store in Omaha efficient. For a brand, we've got 3 stores. Paul's got his store there in Canada. Blake has got OP there in Orlando, and I've got the mothership back there in Omaha, Nebraska, OP Omaha. And the products have to work, and we have to be efficient. The shop in Omaha averages about 250 appointments a month, and we average 40 to 50 ceramic coatings a month. We also do PPF and we do tint, and washes and details too. So it has to work. It has to be efficient, and the customers have to be happy. Because if you were to look at an Omaha OP shop and see that it's like a 3.2 or 3.8, you're gonna like right. But if you look at the Google rating, they're at 4.9 at nearly 300 reviews. Then okay, you're like, okay, this is solid. If they're putting out that many coatings, they have customers that are happy with the products that are going on. And in Omaha, love the people, but it is a great place to leave when it comes to weather and for coatings. I mean, sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, sand. Some counties in Nebraska use beet juice. as ice removal. So these are the kind of things that our coatings there go through, and we get to see them, come back a month later, 6 months later, a year later, and it helps us. Our shops, we have R&D done in labs, but our shops are also our own R&D too.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys have the perfect cross sector of North America, because you got the extremes of Edmonton, you got the extremes of Omaha.
Well, and
Yeah.
the extremes
and
of
then
Florida.
the extremes of Florida with the
is
humidity,
is
right? So you go
ridiculous.
from icy hell to humid hell, and
Yeah.
the install process, in our experience, being in both those environments, has been fantastic.
It really has. And I mean, and when you look at us, and that's why Omaha is so great to be able to put the product line together, right? I mean, when we were installing coatings, my shop, yeah, we have heat, but we don't have AC in it. It's a 5,000 square foot building. Used to be an old Meineke shop. And so we've installed coatings, at cooler temperatures in the 50s, to we've installed coatings in temperatures of in the 90s. So, I mean, like when I say 50s, that's because it was 40 below wind chill for 2 weeks. I mean, that's how cold it gets there.
Yeah.
And the humidity. And here's the other cool thing, and Rod, you brought it up with Florida. The great thing about having a shop in Florida too is we get to see how things are affected by the sun.
Yep.
I don't know any other place that bleaches everything out like Florida.
Yeah.
Florida and Arizona.
Yeah.
So we got a question from Richard. He asked, when are you guys launching in the UK, or do you have plans to do that?
We do. The one of the things that we've been working really hard is getting everything VOC compliant.
Yeah.
And we
Yes.
really
Yeah.
want to do that. We started doing that last November, and we are looking forward to going into the European and international markets also. But I mean, truthfully, my whole thing really is we are a veteran-owned business. Myself, everything is based here in the U.S. All of our products are made here in the U.S. All of our chems, all of our ceramic coatings, they're made here, and I really want to make sure that our primary focus has always been the American detailer.
Yeah.
And now, after being out and about for 5 years as a brand, we're starting to look at that. But we also know we had to make sure that we were getting prepared with our chemicals to be able to make that type of transition too.
Yeah. And I think that is one of the things that we have seen such a diversity of in the U.S. is the temperature range. Our country is large enough in scale, and it spans enough geographically to get.
Mhm.
I mean, we're talking Idaho. We will every single year. I can't remember a year where we didn't have over 100-degree temperatures in the summer and below freezing in the winter.
Mhm.
So we won't get the 40 below wind chill, but we'll get 10, 15
10.
below, and then in the summer
Mhm.
you're going to have a couple of weeks over 100 that just destroys everything. And so that's one of those things where we're used to that kind of stuff, but it's very dry. It's not humid.
No, it's very
Like when
dry.
you go to like Jacksonville or places like Houston,
Orlando,
Texas,
or
where
Houston.
and I'll try to keep it sane, but I do not know why anyone lives there. It's insane. There are other people to live. There's a lot of places to live in the country where it doesn't melt you when you walk outside. So,
oh, come on, take a deep breath of water, man.
I can't handle it.
It invigorates the lungs.
There's a fight or flight response that happens in there. So,
Most of them are people that moved from Iowa.
yeah, that's exactly. Like,
I'm one of those.
Yeah, but I think that's something that chemical companies or product companies in general have to deal with, and I don't care if it is products as far as chemicals or products as far as like even you could be doing detailing products like brushes and pads and things. That kind of heat destroys everything.
Mhm.
What are you finding? We know, Mike, we were there in Wisconsin when it was like 40 below. Soft guy. Raymond, that's a personal thing between you and I, how soft I am. You're not supposed to share that.
Oh man.
If you knew, I am not. I am
He's crusty.
I'm crusty. But I think that's the thing that people don't understand is, like, for instance, you said you're going to do trim restore. How do you guys deal with that extreme? Because if it's 100 degrees, paint is one temperature, black trim is another whole story. And typically
Correct.
it's plastic.
Correct. And not only that, but you're also dealing with a substrate that has been damaged, right? And I'll
Yeah.
be honest with you, I think truthfully, how to deal with it is to be honest about the product and the longevity of the product and what the product can do.
Yeah.
That right there. Because I mean, if you're very honest with the person that's installing it, what the product can and can't do, they can be exactly the same level of honesty with their customer and keep that expectation where it should be. So when we're talking about the trim restore, one of the things that I really, really wanted to push hard for, um, and and that was to keep it clear. So this is a clear trim restore. There's no dyes in it.
Right.
Now, have we? And part of the reason why I wanted to do no dyes is because I didn't want to stain the paint. I wanted to increase the efficiency time. The other thing that we had noticed is with the dyes put in, it if it's not if it's not applied right correctly, you can actually have areas that look uneven.
Yep.
As far as you have too much of the dye that's been layered on top of itself, and then it cures. Um, Now, is that going to give it extra longevity with the dye in it? It will. There's no doubt about it. But with what we're doing, we're looking at the efficiency of it. We're also looking at, hey, you're still going to get 8 months to possibly a year out of this, depending on the substrate, how bad it's been damaged. Customer care. That's the one thing that when we're talking about products, there's two things that always are the biggest variable, and I don't care what product it is in the car care world. One, the customer. I love our customers. They're great people, but customers, they don't always tell the truth. I mean, this is the second biggest purchase that they've made in their life, and the last thing that they want to think about is maybe they did something that might have hurt it, right? So
Yeah.
you're not necessarily going to get the whole story. I can't tell you how many times in 30 some years somebody tells me, "Oh, I use microfiber towels. I just use microfiber towels." You open up the trunk and you see a California duster. The
Yep.
only product that supposedly gets better the dirtier it gets. I mean, there is nothing in the world that works better the dirtier it gets. If that's the case, none of us would wash our underwear. It would be that
Right.
simple, right? I mean, come
Yeah.
on. So
Exactly.
so there's the customer. The second variable is going to be the substrate. And you can't necessarily tell how damaged, like for plastics, how bad that substrate's already damaged. The other
No.
thing that we're seeing now, paints post the COVID, they are not the same as the paints in 2019. And we all
No.
know that, but you don't realize it until you begin to put a product on there. If you end up with a more porous clear coat and you're laying down a ceramic, your flash times just changed. Didn't make a difference if your humidity was the same as yesterday or a month ago and the temp. It's going to want to absorb down in there quicker, which is going to leave a thinner layer on top, which means it's going to flash quicker on you.
Yeah.
It's those are the two things, and I think that those are the two variables that when you're looking at a product and the performance of a product, you really got to take in considerations. I don't care if it's the OP brand or anybody else's brand, because there's definitely a lot of good products out there today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that one of the things I think people don't realize, and what you were mentioning on the paints today, is that if you have a paint that you have prepped by polishing it with I'm going to say a product that's very high build that has a lot of solids in it, it
Mhm.
also is going to affect the flash times because your ceramic is sitting on top of something else. It's not actually
Mhm.
bonding to the paint. And I think coatings get a bad rap when part of it I cannot just chemically, if you think about it, if you're putting something very thick on top of the substrate and then you put a ceramic, it's on top of that.
Mhm.
So I think people have to be careful with what they are using and how they're critiquing the products they're using. Because there's products that, it's super easy to install. Well, I installed a product from a company, and I will not say who it is. They claimed this product was really easy to install, and it was super easy to
Mhm.
install. I took the towel that I wiped it off with and I left it out to dry. It still absorbs water. So that tells me a couple of things about that coating. That's not a, that's not like in the dictionary for the definitive test of whether a coating is good or not. But generally, you should not be able to take a towel after you've installed a ceramic coating and have it absorb water. That's the whole idea, is that it's going to dry. And so that's a hard one. It's like you got to be able to look at what you're doing and how you're installing it. There's two-part coatings, there's single coatings, there's ones that are some people claim they're consumer-based products, right? Which generally just means crappy, less product going on. But I think that probably the thing that I think is really cool about the trainings, and like I said, we've had the privilege of being at both the Florida, at Raymond's shop and at Paolo's shop, and seeing, and I've been at Rupes when there's been,
and the Orlando owners.
That's what I'm saying. The Orlando owners pride, that at a lot of different events that have got OP products in them, and it's a consistency, right? The training message is the same. The understanding of how to apply has been the same. I haven't seen a lot of deviation, right? And a lot of times, if you've got installers and trainers from different parts of the country and different parts of the world, it's like this installer does it this way and this installer does it that way. I haven't seen that. I will say for personal, the ease of installing the OP coating, my 22-year-old daughter that's never coated anything did it. So very easy to install. I was there obviously helping her out, but it wasn't one of these coatings where you put it on and like, oh crap, it's flashed already, get the rag, it's something like that. So I've been impressed with the products. Do you guys seem to have, it seems, this is a loaded question because I have my own answer. Do you guys seem to have as many problems with products getting in and out of the U.S. as far as getting product in hand right now?
No. The unique thing with us is, from the very beginning, is working with manufacturers here in the U.S. And working directly with the chemist at hand. Um, it's so great, and you were talking about this too. The ease of use and everything. Here's the reason why it had to be is, at some point I knew I was not going to be able to physically do what I was doing. There's just no way. Spinal stenosis, surgeries, other things. Literally, 2023 was a life-changing surgery. Actually, it's a life-saving surgery. If I hadn't had it, you and I would not be having this conversation at all. In fact, I'm probably going to have another surgery within the next 2 years. But that being said, how do you take, and for me, this was the question I had to ask myself, how do I take 20, at that time, 20 plus years of indie industry? How do I take that and how do I McDonald's it? And so we had to make things simple. We had to make it to where, yeah, this is how you go ahead and you apply the product. You have this problem, this is what you do. Not like 50 different answers, but we try to keep it to where it would be an elimination of about 5, 10 at the most options. Doing that is also when you work with the chemists themselves too. This is what we need to do. This is the primary objective. Yeah, we want to come out with an incredibly badass product. We want to go ahead and make sure that we have margin in it so we can pass that same margin on to our detailers too. But this is the primary objective with it, and that's how it's been with all of our products. And by doing that, we're able to eliminate a lot of guesswork, especially with our shops in the volume that we do. And then when it comes to the manufacturing part of it all, knowing what works and trying to plan ahead as much as you can, trying to go ahead and say, okay, we've ran into inventory issues before. How do we stay ahead of it? And so we do work with a warehouse, and we have them and they give us the inventory. Now, that being said, it's not always perfect. You got human beings. You got things that happen. You've got a 2-part ceramic coating, then all of a sudden at 8:30 in the morning, you get a text to find out that the last 2 boxes of that 2-part coating, part 1 ended up getting damaged. dropped, and that was pretty much all they told me because they knew I was so pissed. And we were,
Yeah, yeah. But
you
I
know,
think
and
that's just human adversity, right? I mean, Jody, it's funny
right.
you say that because this morning I texted Jody and I went out in the garage, opened the garage door. My wife was going to load up and leave, and she had a flat tire. And so I told Jody, I said, hey, man, I'm going to be skidding in at 10 o'clock because I got to deal with a flat tire. And that's just, I think with anything, with products, with personal, whatever, it's how you deal with those adversities. They're going to come.
Mm,
Right. And I think in the United States and in the world in general, in the last 6 years, we have dealt with so much adversity. You've got
yeah.
COVID, and you've got economic issues, and you've got earthquakes, and you've got this and that, and it's just there's one thing after another. And as a owner, as a business owner, I don't think people realize some of the things you have to deal with on a daily basis. And I don't care if you are somebody that's got 15 employees or if you're somebody that's got one employee. If you own a business, you're dealing with adversity. And I think that having a company that's behind you, that can support you, that is there to help you when you say, hey, this happened, right? I got one of the two parts. I need a coating, right? I mean, I have no doubt the 3 shops that I know of that are big OP installers with Ray Evans, the guys in Florida, and
Mike
with Paolo,
Millward.
I could probably call
Mhm.
any one of those guys today and say, hey, I need X. And they'd be like, yeah, come down and get it.
Yeah.
And so I think that is, that's just I guess, just a pat on the back to the people that are working with your products, because I think that's part of it. That's the big factor behind whatever product you're using is the human that's installing it and using it and advertising it and promoting it.
Well, and I know that's been one of your big focuses as a business owner. Not only do I want to provide great products for you, but you're very focused on business tools. So let's talk about that, because I think you have some things that you're going to be introducing in 2026, right?
Yeah, in 2026, it's a it's not necessarily an official co-op program, but what we want to do is for our installers, we want to create a group within our network, and basically, it's we understand that you're because of your volume that you're purchasing, you deserve a margin break. There's no doubt about it. And so that's what we want to go ahead and do. If you're committing into OP and this is how you're looking at us as one of your primary products, then we need to go ahead and support you in the same way. So within this group, X amount is spent per month. Then you're looking at like a significant cost savings, like especially for our PPF. Guys within our network will be able to purchase 60 by 50 inch rolls for right around $900, and that includes the mat. Now it's going to retail for about 1400. It's a great clear PPF. The other thing that's very unique about us, it's kind of different. We'll not only work with the manufacturers, we will set up people that are nearby to work with that product too and help us make those changes. We've been working like on our heavy duty coating. We've been working on that for over a year. And I've been working with more than 2 installers for the last year, helping to refine this product and what they're seeing in their area on different substrates and also in different regions. And so that's why I'm so confident when it comes out. The same thing with the PPF. We do have somebody that I've been working with in South Carolina, uh, just not too far from me here. And I can go to his shop and I can ask him questions. How does this feel? What are some of the things you don't like? What are the things you do like? Let's see what we can
Yeah.
change about this. What is it about the adhesive that you're seeing? What about the clarity? This is going to have ceramic infusion to it. What are you seeing? When you applied an OP coating on top of it, how did it feel? Did it drag? Did it go on? What did it look like? These kind of questions. And so we go through that over a year. So when we release the PPF, I'm very confident on the clarity. I'm very confident on the durability of people who spend more time on PPF than I do physically. But to be able to ask those questions and get their real-time feedback, and then to be able to go to the manufacturer and say, what can we do about this or this, that's kind of where I come in on the whole thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wouldn't be able to do it either without my partner Blake, that runs the Orlando shop. He handles quite a bit of the of that stuff too, especially when it comes to manufacturing. Does an amazing job. Big shout out to Davis too. He runs my shop in Omaha. I mean, I would not be able to help run. I would not be able to work a shop remotely halfway across the country if I didn't have a great team. And then when it comes to customer support, you ask anybody, Jimmy Sluter, hands down. This guy does his best to try to make sure that every one of our installers is called once a month, you know. And if we don't get a hold of him, we'll leave him a message. If that doesn't work, no, he's picking up the phone, email, shoot him a text, let him know that we're thinking about him and everything's great.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
I think that is one of the things you mentioned at the beginning of that was the feedback, and
Mhm.
I don't think everybody understands this. Good people understand it, and I'm not saying good as in good versus bad. I'm saying as a business owner, when you say you want feedback, you don't want somebody to kiss your ass. You want somebody to give you actual, honest feedback. You want them to say, "Yeah, I noticed when I installed it on the mat that it was a little more grabby, it drug a little more,"
Mhm.
whatever the feedback is. But you don't want them to just be, "Oh, you're so great, you're so great, you're so great," pat you on the back, because that doesn't help you improve the product. That's the thing is you want honest feedback. If it's great, yeah, let's say it's great. If it's not good, let's hear about it. I mean, I've been at trainings where we've had a product that we were highlighting with other manufacturers, and it wasn't performing how we expected.
Mhm.
I could call the person on the phone. I was in one of the most unique environments in the entire world. I was in the middle of a hurricane in Jacksonville, doing a training, and I had an issue, and I literally called Paulo in Canada during this training, and it wasn't just humid. The air wasn't moving. It was like the depths of hell. There was
Yeah.
no airflow. My glasses were fogged up for 3 days straight. It was so horrible. And I called and I said, Paulo, this is what's going on. And we literally put a small fan in the shop just to get airflow, you
Mhm.
know, and it changed the
Change the dynamic.
everything instantly.
Yeah.
And so the ability to reach out to somebody, and I know that we're very privileged in that aspect. And I cannot thank the people that we know enough, because we get so much access to people that we probably shouldn't. But I know that there's certain people in this industry that if I called them right now, they would answer their phone, or they'd
Mhm.
send me a text and say, "What can I do for you?" And that is, I think, a very rare thing. So there's, that I think is beautiful. Get the feedback, get people out in the field, get people testing. The fact that Ray said he's already playing with one of your products, that's great, because that means it's already being tested in an environment that is going to be on the far end of that, not normal.
Yeah, I mean, correct. And I think too, um, having somebody, I mean, this is just gonna make Ray's head go even bigger. But having somebody like Ray, and what I like about Ray is very honest about a product.
Yeah.
Um, Ray doesn't like something, he will let you know right away. Sometimes it's just like, can you just take a breath before you tell me you don't like it? Um, but the other thing, and he was there the day I brought down our drying aid, and we just launched Eco Dry. That was back in early spring. And what was cool about it, I said, okay, I know you like this product. What we're gonna do is you can apply both of these wet. Let's see which one acts quicker. And so put the one that he really likes on there. He's like, oh yeah, he goes, that's great. I go, yeah, looks great. Now watch this. And then it just like shredded the water instantly. I mean, there was no hesitation. It just literally, it was like Moses in the Red Sea, just poof, like that, and it was gone. And he just looked at me, and to see that kind of smile from your customers though is a very very big piece of satisfaction for
Oh
me.
yeah.
And to give them that shock and awe, because again, there are a lot of great products out there, and it's just like, okay, let's find the ones that we can go ahead and create and put together that are going to work well with the rest of the lineup and make sense. And a drying aid that does that so quickly, and then leaves a ceramic behind it, that was one that we're like, okay, that's definitely what we want to shoot for.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Well, we're super excited. We know that you have a Christmas event with your family, so we want to be respectful of your time.
Hey, I'm the one that forgot it.
yeah.
I'm the one. Dude, I even wrote it down on the calendar, and this is what's really crappy. When I wrote it down, it even said family Christmas right there when I wrote it down. I didn't see it. And again, I think it's no different than with our own detailers and our own customers, right? I mean, you get busy, and
Yeah.
you're constantly trying to figure out how to balance life, your business, and then somewhere in between to find a little bit of that time to carve out for yourself.
Yep.
And these kind of things, they happen, and I think that's what makes us very relatable. The fact that we do have shops. I'm right there with Davis. Hey, I'm worried about appointments coming in. I want to make sure that the guys in the back have work. So when we have installers, when we're talking to them and they're telling us that things are slow, okay, great. Let's talk about what you're doing right now. Let's take a look at your social media, and how can we get more interaction for you? Here's some things that we've done in Omaha to help us accrue the 10,000 followers we have just on that shop there in Omaha. This is just some of the organic things that you can do. And this is how you get the people that know you and want to see you succeed. This is how you pull them into your page and let them promote your page to get the news out you got a sale, get the news out you got a new product or your new service coming along. These are the things that we really do enjoy because we understand the pain of not having a full calendar. And again, if we can help these guys succeed, then the brand succeeds.
Yep. And I think that is, as we end 2025, because this is the last episode.
No, we got one more. We got
but this
two
is
more.
One more, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
We got one more. Palo, the 30th. We don't have one
30th,
next
I
week,
know.
but we have
the last couple
Palo
of days
is
of the
gonna
year.
kick us out of 2025.
But we would say, like you were saying, if you haven't already done it, go out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us suggestions. We love to hear suggestions of people you want to see on the show. And if you're somebody that wants to be on the show, let us know.
Yeah,
as well.
we'd love to have you.
But as we go into that season, I think that you brought up some really, really important points. One of them is the rising tide, right? We all have to be cognizant that there are other people out there in this industry. We want everybody to succeed. I mean, if you look at it on a surface level, if there's a guy across the street doing the same thing as me, you have a tendency not to want that person to succeed. The problem with that mentality is the more detailing shops on that street, that becomes detailing row, and that helps everybody. You may not think about it that way, but when you have too much work, that's also just as big of a problem. It can affect you negatively. So partner with people, bring people in, talk to people in your area, have a meet and greet, and do some things. Grand finale next week. Look at he's up there playing.
Palo's already
like playing
he's in the Dominican and he's
Republic.
like,
Dude,
this
guy, Paulo, is the hardest working guy in the industry. He really is. You can't say anything more about the incredible individual, incredibly talented, good looking. Come on, dude. And then he's got the Portuguese accent. I mean, I'm from Iowa. I have no accent at all.
Here's the thing. He's going at how good looking Palo is, but he's connected with Ray. So, I mean,
you got to take the good with the bad.
The yin and yang.
Jody and I, right? I'm the looks of the building.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, Palo's like the James Bond of the industry.
Well, and Palo's spoiled, too. Because I don't know if you guys know Palo's wife, Edith, but Edie can cook. I mean, oh, my God. If I lived near Palo, and all I did was go to dinner with him once a month, I would probably be 800 pounds.
Yeah,
Edie is awesome. And I think that's the thing is support system. Get your support system behind you. We all have one. If you don't, you need to find one. And OP is a great support system. Just from a personal level, everybody I've met that's an OP installer, distributor, cheerleader, whatever. It's a great
You know,
network of people. So if you
the
look
majority
into it.
of our guys have even got my number.
Yep.
So I mean, I try to make myself as available as much as possible. Never pictured myself being the old man on the mountain. That really wasn't the job title I was kind of looking for. But being in
I'm
the
with you,
industry for
Dave.
over 3 decades, man, I don't know what else to describe it as.
Well, the thing, the key to that,
do.
though, I'll tell you, the secret to that is just to be childish. That's how I deal with it. Is I never got past age 10, and that helps a lot. So
you gotta live young, man. It's like you got.
I hear you.
So,
I hear you.
absolutely. Well,
dude,
everybody, please have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays,
Absolutely.
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is, Festivus, whatever you celebrate. Go out there and do it with all your heart and soul. Hang out with your families, your friends.
Absolutely.
Reach out to somebody that's not as fortunate as you and help them out as well. And let's all look for next year. Edith loves us. I know we love her too.
I know we love her too.
So let's just. I can't wait to go to MTE. Jody and I didn't go to SEMA this year, so we missed talking to everybody. And we have something that just happened yesterday. We are actually going to kick off the 25th anniversary of MTE. It's going to be Jody and I.
Thursday at 8
Nice.
p.m.
Thursday at 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
MT's
We're
in
kicking
the
it off.
house.
So
It's going to be fun.
and this is the very first year, the 25th anniversary, the very first year of MTE, that there are more detailing vendors and companies
Thank
than
goodness.
PDR. So we've done it. Feliz Navidad. Yeah, all that good stuff. So
That's good.
thank you guys very much. We really appreciate all you guys tuning in every week and listening to our dumbasses make jokes and say stupid stuff. And Damon, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you guys. I appreciate having me on, and looking forward to seeing you guys at MTE. We're doing the pre-party, so hopefully not everybody's hungover by the time they see you guys the next morning. And then I also have a class, so I'll be speaking on how to prep and run a business remotely. So especially a detail shop.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for tapping in. Like Rod said, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. We hope you have a fantastic week next week or this week. And we look forward to having Paolo December 30th. So until then.